Hi, I'm Abigail Matheson. We are going to be interviewing George Matheson on what Easter means to him. George, what does Easter mean to you?
Easter means quite a lot of things, particularly because I'm a Christian. Easter takes on a faith-based thing to me, but it never meant so much to me until probably, I think, 2005, March 2005. I had a brain tumor, and I was left blind for about 3 days. And I remember one of the pastor coming to the hospital, just as I was recovering from this brain tumor, and lots of things going on in my head at the time. And he said to me that how this is the time that Christ took a hit. And I thought, well, Christ took a hit? You know, and he said, I said, break it down, I don't understand what you mean. Well, he said, and he simply went through that whole crucifixion story.
The soldiers took Jesus to Golgotha, which means place of the skull. There, they gave him some wine mixed with a drug to ease the pain, but he refused to drink it. They nailed Jesus to a cross and gambled to see who would get his clothes. It was about 9 o'clock in the morning when they nailed him to the cross. On it was a sign that told why he was nailed there. It read, "This is the King of the Jews." The soldiers also nailed 2 criminals on crosses, one to the right of Jesus and the other to his left. People who passed by said terrible things about Jesus. They shook their heads and shouted, "Ha! So you're the one who claimed you could tear down the temple and build it again in 3 days. Save yourself and come down from the cross." The chief priests and the teachers of the law also made fun of Jesus. They said to each other, "He saved others, but he can't save himself. If he is the Messiah, the King of Israel, let him come down from the cross, then we will see and believe." The 2 criminals also said cruel things to Jesus.
And I've always remembered, and that from then to now, I've always remembered about my illness and how it links to my faith, because I just saw it as, well, my parents said that Easter was about Christ and so on, so I just learned that, but never having to connect what it would really mean to me. So Easter then and now means completely something different to me. It's personal. Yes, it's about faith and so on, but it is what I do with my God-given talents, as it were, rather than just, Christ, Good Friday, Christ died and rose again. It's much more personal to me, and everything I do now is driven by that event that happened in 2005, March 2005, and that pastor saying that in his bad boy style, that Christ took a hit for me. You understand what I mean?
Yeah. What is the most important part of Easter to you?
Well, because I have a young family, it is about family. It's about actually the couple of days that I can spend with my family. It's about reflecting on some of the tragedies that has happened in my life, and doing that whole thing about going to church and so on. It's about thinking about how fortunate I am, and again linked to that going back to that to March 2005, and that pastor saying that Christ took her. it takes on much more than it's ever meant to me. So it's family, faith, where I'm gonna, what I'm gonna do with my life, you know, and how I interact with my family, but also how I interact with people. So it's not just about, it's part reflection, it's part family coming together. Those are probably two strong building blocks that Easter means to me personally.
What does Easter mean to you?
Easter to us means getting together with a family.
Because we're spread all over the world.
Yes.
Thailand, Italy, Holland.
Chocolate, lots of chocolate of course. And yeah, we always buy presents for our little niece and things like that. What else? Daffodils, perhaps?
Roast lamb.
Roast lamb. Yeah. And of course we have to think about it. If you're a Christian, then you'll think about the real meaning behind Easter, of course. So we might stay a moment to think about that as well.
Thank you.
Happy Easter. Happy Easter.
And last question, how do you celebrate Easter?
How do I celebrate Easter? Well, I'd like to say with Easter eggs, but I don't really celebrate Easter. I'm a diabetic, so I can't eat too much Easter eggs. It's around the family. It's around, it falls on Friday, Good Friday, so I have a day off with my family. I go to church on the Saturday, and I also do. It always falls on our church do an annual collecting for the relief, health and relief things called In Gathering. So on a Sunday, I would actually go with my wife and my children collecting for the Adra Appeal relief, and that's about it. But it's very much faith, family, and helping other people through the Adra relief. You know, that's probably, and I don't mean it to sound simplified, but that's how I'm choosing to celebrate Easter.
What does Easter mean to you?
I don't really celebrate Easter that much, but it's more exciting for like little kids. I'm a little sister, like
You're more
Easter
religious
and stuff.
people.
Yeah, I'm not really religious.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. What does Easter mean to you?
Well, Easter for me means it's about the death and the resurrection of Jesus. And yeah, that's basically it, that he came to die and he rose again. That's what it means to me.
Thank you. And how are you planning on celebrating Easter?
Going to church now.
Thank you.
Weekend in worship. Okay.
Thank you.
It's quite interesting because nobody's never asked me about what does Easter mean to me, and I kind of thought when I was being interviewed about Easter and so on, and the more I reflect on it, I said, well, I haven't got very much thing to say about Easter, but the more I reflect on it, I kind of thought it was a really good subject, and I didn't think it would be personal to me as as that journey of reflection, and I'm glad I'm doing it, because first of all I said, do I want to do this? But I'm glad I did it.
Okay, thank you so much for your time.
You.
Since Easter is well and truly on its way, I have decided to try and uncover the ground facts and basic background on why it is celebrated and what it means to people in the community. Personally, I feel Easter is about taking time to think and realise the ultimate sacrifice that took place in order to save us and give us a second chance. I believe it is a time to be grateful and give thanks in celebration with your loved ones. As an active member of the Huddersfield Seventh-day Adventist Church, I associate Easter with its purpose, the Easter story. Although I have my own beliefs and views on Easter, I am still intrigued to find out what you, the people in the community, think about Easter. What does Easter mean to you?
Well, usually spring and renewal, but it's a little cold. But no, it's a really special time. It's one to remember and realise, rebirth and hope.
How are you planning on celebrating Easter this year?
Well, family. It's all about family. It always has been really. Eating good food, being together, spending time together, walks, maybe going away. Just spend time.
Okay, thank you very much for your time.
Easter is a time of celebration for all Christians, to celebrate the death and resurrection of Jesus. But it's not just about Easter, it's about every day of the year. If you're a true Christian, you think of that every day.
How do you celebrate Easter?
I celebrate Easter with my friends, family and with a bunch of chocolate.
What do Easter eggs and bunnies have to do with the Easter story? Easter bunnies are great, aren't they? And who can resist those tempting chocolate Easter eggs? A lot of people have mentioned chocolate Easter eggs and Easter bunnies today. But I guess you're all wondering how chocolate eggs and bunnies are associated with the Easter story. Well, from a Catholic perspective, Easter eggs are sold as a sweet treat you can enjoy at Easter. But it is also used as a symbol to represent the tomb where Jesus was buried. When we crack the chocolate egg in half, it is like rolling the stone from the entrance. This symbolises the resurrection of Jesus, and the red scarlet sins that we all committed have been washed away and been made pure, white as snow. The Easter bunny is seen as friendly and lots of fun. However, the bunny is not just around for no reason, it has a purpose. It represents new life, which basically sums up the death and resurrection of Jesus in a nutshell. How do we celebrate Easter in Huddersfield? On Good Friday, or at some point in the Easter holidays, Christians celebrate an important part of the Easter story. They partake in the Last Supper, also known as the communion service. In some churches, they partake in the foot washing, which is also an important part of the Easter story. In Huddersfield, primary and junior schools celebrate Easter by having an Easter raffle, bonnet making competition, Easter egg hunt, fairs and much more. High schools hold special Easter assemblies to make students and teachers aware of the true meaning of Easter. Even the community put on special events in Easter like arts and craft clubs, pottery making classes, and in the past there has been Easter holiday play schemes. I know for a fact that my church will be holding an Easter concert, so it seems to me that we do a lot of events to celebrate Easter and get involved.